Alright, so I just want to do a little short recording. I've been playing around with the matrix, okay? And like this grid right here that you see in color is the 9 by 9 matrix. Like down here, count is 9, and across here, the count is 9, okay? So you cannot fill up the middle column of the matrix, okay, right off the get-go, okay? You got to figure out the first column, the second column, the third column, and the fourth column, okay? You got to do the 48. The 48 cells here. 4 by 8. It's not 48 cells, it's 32 cells, but it's a 4 by 8. You got to figure out the 4 up to the 8 to make the Earth. Okay, so what I've done here is I've literally listed, okay, based on this, okay, I've literally, let me just move this over maybe. Sure. Yeah, cool. So based on this, I've done the same thing. So as you can see, we have Charon here, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. And then we have Triton, Nereid, Ariel, and then the number 4 in Roman numerals. We have Titania, we have Umbriel and Miranda here, because it's a 2 or an 11, 2 in Roman numerals. We have Oberon here, we have Rey here, kind of like Star Wars Rey but spelled differently. We have Titan. Now this and this I've changed. I've changed these two around, okay, these two. And I'll get to that. It's all about Saturn, and Saturn has rings. Okay, I know Uranus also has rings, but Saturn has rings, and when I go down here, I'll show you that later. So I did a revision. I swapped Dion and Thesis, let's call it, and then there's IA Petus. Okay, now so this hasn't changed. The 4x4, well, it has changed, but it hasn't. Okay, I just made a revision. Now, when you're talking about day 4, when day 4 starts, okay, so remember we've gone and done the moon of Pluto, Pluto, moon of Neptune, moon of Neptune, Neptune, moon of Uranus, 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 Uranus, moon of moon of Uranus, moon of Uranus, whatever, moon of Neptune's, Uranus, moons of Uranus. Day 4 starts off with not Saturn, but it starts off with all the other galaxies, which means it's Uranus has rings, guy. Okay, like Uranus, according to my ruler, is the only other planet that has rings. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So those two have rings, so they're special. Something special has to happen. Hey, look, red and blue. That's crazy. So I think the rings need to be actually depicted over here. Okay, so what happens is that you have to understand also the G. Okay, the the G we're making. Hold on. The G we're making, if I do control print screen, and I had something going here, but I'm gonna get rid of it, and right here. Like, I've been working all day, guy. I've been doing videos, and I've been deleting them because I don't really like everything too much. But your G, remember, it starts from here, okay? So you're gonna go down like this, and go up, and go over, and go down, go across, okay? And you're gonna go up, include Ray, and you're gonna go to Ariel, and you're gonna go down to Oberon. Am I right here? Ish. Okay, so that's what it looks like. There's your G. Okay, and see how Uranus has rings. Okay, Uranus, the planet, let's say, has, let's say, rings, which is kind of why this doesn't have a name. Okay, it doesn't have a name. It's the end of the G. It's where the G ends. Okay, interesting. Starts at Oberon, ends over here, and there's two guys. Anyways, so the reason I find this interesting is now we can talk about what is the next thing created on day 4. We have all the lights in the skies. What does that mean? It's all the other galaxies, guy. It's all the other galaxies are created. Now, I find it interesting that's both in row 4. Column 5. Okay. Row 5, column 5. Okay, so now here's where the rings are created because you have all the lights in the sky. It kind of shows me the relationship we had up here. Okay, so like we're going Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, but then we're going to stop going this way and we're going to start going this way. Okay? Now the only way to do that is to like, okay, remember we started at Charon. So now if we rotate the whole thing, rotate 90 degrees right, okay, what happens? We started here. Oh, I want to go left. I always do that. Rotate 90 degrees left, rotate 90 degrees left. Okay, this is what I wanted. So the reason I want this is because we are rotating. Okay, so we started with Charon, and then we're going to start with Uranus again. Okay, so we're going to start in the top right quadrant. We're going to start here now. Okay, we started here, now we're going to start here. So if we do this, and this is our ending, okay, we got to understand that like, what, like, I don't know, coming back to the thing. I just, it's an interest. I'm having a hard time describing it. It's pissing me off. Okay, the reason I'm having a hard time describing it. Oh, what the hell? Redo. Alright, Alright, the reason I'm doing this is because this and this, okay, they're not like considered part of the solar system, okay? But like, kind of check out what that's doing, okay? You're kind of making like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of making a goddamn 8. Like a more defined 8 as we know it. Okay? Like Sun and Moon, Mars and Mercury. Okay? So they're kind of outside the solar system. Ah, that's a perfect segue. Okay, we have our solar system. We have the galaxy, which is the Milky Way galaxy. Man and woman galaxy. And then we have the universe. Okay, so it's like we have the 1 and 2 and 3 chakras that are outside of our bodies or around our bodies. We have 1 in the solar system, 1 in the galaxy, 1 in the universe. Okay, your body itself. Okay, your body itself has 7 chakras in it. Okay, and then you have an aura around your body. No, hold on. You have the one that's above your, about a couple inches around you, maybe like you're around your head. You probably have like an aura around your head, and then you have one that emanates a couple feet around your body at all times. Okay, so there's another 2 chakras. So you have 7 and 2 and 3. Okay, there's your 12 chakras. 7 in the flesh, 5 outside the flesh. Okay, the 5 outside the flesh guy. Okay, so all this talk about rings. Okay, wow. So the rings of Saturn. Now, if we just go by the Bible and understand that after, okay, the 3rd day and the 3rd light created, all the lights in the sky were created, those are all the other galaxies, all the other G's. Because the G's are us, okay? So all the other G's, like all the little G's that are in here, it's all the other G's that are in existence get put into our skies. Okay, and the next thing is a great light to rule the day. Okay, I think because we've created, this is where we create duality. Okay, day and night, and I think everything's backwards and reversed, so that's why I switched them. And numerically, right here, it's a 4 and a 3. Okay, so Jupiter would be, where did I write it? Fuck it. Jupiter would be 4, and Saturn would be your 3 numerically, but you have to understand that that 3 is in a cell and that 4 is in a cell, and that's going to be Saturn your 4 and Jupiter your 5. It's like your 1x4 centered in your 1x5 in your 9 quadrant. Okay, we'll get to that. Anyway, so once you put Saturn, okay, once you understand that a great light to rule the day is this darkness, which is Saturn, it has rings, okay, so then you have to account for the moons of Jupiter, okay? So if Saturn goes here, then you have to account for Ganymede, Callisto, Europa, and Io, but in a ring form, because Saturn needs to have at least 4 points, let's say, to create a ring around it, Okay, so here's your Saturn over here. Okay, there's Saturn. Okay, so we're going to create Ganymede, Callisto, Europa, and Io, which are making like a ring around the galaxies. Okay, it's the only place I can figure out how to do it. It's like making a ring of Saturn. Okay, ring of Saturn. Okay, it's rings caused by Saturn. Okay, have a think of it that way. Now, what I feel very confident with this new, like, these ones here, I didn't go into there, and Dion and Thesis are changed. But over here, okay, the reason I know I'm right, I know you don't like when I say that probably, is because of Io. Okay, Io is where the 76 is going to be. Okay, and it makes sense to get this cell before anything else if you solve for one full quadrant. If you solve for this quadrant, it makes sense that you should be working on this when you're working on this at the same time. Okay, and 76. Okay, like first of all, it's IO. Okay, IO is Iaptus and Oberon. If you continue on the stairway to heaven, isn't that wild? So Io is just the name. It's the name of the moon, Io, and there's Iaptus and Oberon on Stairway to Heaven. So this right here would be the 76. This right here would be the 13, and then you'd have a 1 and a 1 for Nereid and Charon. Kind of interesting that 76 and 13 is your 89, which is a circled 88, which are everything to do with your 88 rotating constellations, which are found over here. That sandwich, duality, Jupiter and Saturn, from like an east-west, north-south kind of thing, like a magnet, like a blue pill, red pill, like duality, creation of duality. The creation of a 1x2 in between two 1x1s in a 1x4. So anyways, I find this very interesting, and I know I'm right. I think I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm right about everything. Like I'm gonna go and say that I feel confident about everything that I have. Like the whole G in this. Like at least the G, and I know that's plants. And I know, like I'm sure about this. Okay, I'm pretty sure about that. Now, so after a great light to rule the day and a great light to rule the night are created in duality because, yeah, plants were created on day 3. So it's like when the G gets created, okay, you got to think of symmetry. This 4x4, which is like not really a 4x4, but the 4x4 area of green, when it's created, it creates a 1x1 right here. On the second column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second column, 6th row, 26, God. Sums to 26. Interesting, eh? So, anyway, there. Get rid of all this. So, just trying to continue with the flow. Okay, so we have to redo that. So we have the galaxies. Okay, we have Saturn and all the moons of Jupiter. Then we have Jupiter. So it goes like this. Kind of like makes like a P. Kind of makes a P. There, that's P. Okay, and then the 88, and then the stars. And the stars, it's pretty undeniable that they create and the stars. Okay, so you can see duality. Okay, now after Jupiter's created, we have to create the moons of Mars. Okay, so because plants are already created, right? Because of the G above creates this 1x1 down here on the 2-6. Okay, we have and all these cells. Okay, like listen. I'm going to get to these guys. I'm going to get to all these guys in a second, but not now. We've created the 4. Remember, we've created a 4x4. Okay, 4x4 has been created. We created this 1x1. We created this 1x1, but it has a ring. Okay, we've created this Saturn, and then we've created Jupiter and 88 rotating constellations. And planets are already here. So essentially, we're kind of like forced to start. Okay, because we were doing the 4th column here, and now we're doing the 5th column. We're kind of forced to start here, going this way. Okay, kind of forced. And I think it's just going to go exactly as described. It's going to go Phobos, Deimos, Mars. Okay, so Phobos, Deimos, Mars, and then the Sun. And then the Sun. Now, that's important because look what happens here. Day 5, okay, day 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells, and it's the beginning and end of the cell. Okay, the beginning and the end of the 1 by 5. The beginning and end of the 1 by 5. Okay? And then we have what? Then we have Venus, which is the middle of the 1 by 5, or the middle of the 1 by 3. Venus is next. And then Mercury, and then the Moon. Okay, Earth's moon is created, not Earth. Earth doesn't create until the nothing's done. The nothing hasn't happened. So what's the nothing? Now everything here has been taken care of. Right here, this IO right here is your 76. Okay? So how many cells have not been accounted for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 cells have not been accounted for. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. 6 of them. Interesting. Okay. So what I haven't done, essentially, is, let's go back to the spreadsheet, is accounted for these guys. I haven't accounted for Pluto and the moons of Neptune. I haven't accounted for Neptune and the moons of Uranus. I haven't accounted for Uranus and the moons of Saturn. And look, when I highlight all these guys and look down here, it says count 16 down here. Count 16. Ah, what am I doing? Yeah, count as 16. Okay. It's interesting, 16, but we gotta look at the names, guy. Okay, so I need 13. Anyways, what I think happens about all these guys. I'm coming at it from a different angle that I didn't anticipate. Okay, is this. Okay, you gotta remember the Titans. You gotta remember Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. You gotta remember the Titans. And how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 things. Okay, so because, like, remember I always said, like, this is, like, Pluto, and, like, this is, like, Neptune, and this is Uranus. Well, there's also all these moons now. So which one is, like, is this Charon? Is this Triton? Is this Nereid? Okay, like, you know, I don't know. So, and these ones don't overlap because these are all moons of, this is a moon of Mars right here, and these are moons of Jupiter. Okay, so they don't really, like the moons of Uranus count. Oh, we got 2 moons right here and Uranus itself. Oh, maybe that's it. I didn't think of that. Look, guys. Okay, remember over here? If we highlight all these guys and the moons of Saturn, we have 16 in our count. Okay, that includes Uranus, Rhea, and Aeptus. Okay, if you take away 3 from these 16, we take away Aeptus, Rhea, and Uranus. So if we just count these guys, and not Uranus, but all these guys, our count is now 13. And those are our 13 cells that are needed on the matrix. Ah ha ha ha. Beautiful. Really, eh? So yeah, like what is, yeah, these right here, there's 6 here, and these ones right here, that's 13, and then, oh, even this, look, you have a 1 and a 1 for your sticky outy bit of Armageddon, and then here's your 4 that hasn't been named yet. Oh, those are the 16. Guy, that's what it is. They all have to be reused twice, okay? So, beautiful. Right. All 16 of these names have to show up twice, and the cells are going to show up on are here, here, and here. And this one's probably the last one. This one's probably the last one. The 4. Okay? And this is probably the second last one, and this is probably the third last one. The energy path in which energy travels, probably. Okay, so that's what probably happens. Okay, so what I think is going to happen now. Oh, interesting. Let's go back to here then. Okay, so let's just go in order. This one, let's just go in order. Let's just try Charon here. Let's try Pluto here. Let's try Triton here. Let's try Nereid here. Let's try Neptune here. Let's try Titania here. Let's try Oberon here. I'm just going in the order of creation. Let's do Ariel here. Let's do Umbriel. Oh, that's beautiful. And Umbriel and Miranda. In case, look at that guy. Umbriel and Miranda here. Boom. Umbriel and Miranda, which is a 2 is the 1, are here, and they encase the 3 is the 1. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I think I'm right. Okay, so like we've done all these now. Cool. So we're at Miranda. Now we got Uranus. Rather interesting is that these are Uranuses. Wow. Cool. Interesting. Makes like a Y. You see what I'm saying? Huh. Holy shit, guy. Okay. So after Uranus, we're gonna have Titan. Of course, the middle of Armageddon will be called Titan. And then we're gonna have Iaptus. Iapetus. And then we're gonna have Ray. And I think Ray's gonna go here. The end of Armageddon. That's why Star Wars movies are so prominent right now, because of Ray. Guys. And Thesis, or I don't know, Thesis. I'm gonna call it Thesis. And the last one is Dion. Well, ADTTR. ASNEL. Anyways, I think this is right. I'm gonna conclude for today. I think I'm a little mind blasted. Okay, so I'll leave this one as that yellow color, but it's not really part of what I'm trying to. There. Oh, this one has to be bolded too. Okay, so like, I don't know if that was easy to follow or not, but so this is all the right hand. Okay, so let's maybe make it a little clear that this is the left hand of God. Now the left hand of God, let's just make it like kind of gray. Okay, so you can see that this right here would be your 36 cells. Okay, let me just do it. These are 36 cells. Okay, now that's not what's needed. You need to have the 5 rows by the 5 columns by 9. Okay, these guys right here, this would be 45 cells. These are needed. 45 cells are needed, but you also need the sticky outy bits. Remember? And then 2 of these. Okay, so now if we go the other way, we're going to go take all this column, all this column, all this column, all this column, all the middle column, and then 1, 2, and these are going to be some other color. And that's how they overlap. And you're probably creating new little hearts here. You're probably creating like, you know, whatever heart shit that exists. But that's what I want to try to like emphasize here. Okay, it's the pattern of creation. Now, I didn't really get into the Austin Lee Meredith. I mean, like, okay, here, like just look at the fucking board here. Okay, this Charon begins with C. This Pluto begins with P. This Triton begins with T. This Nereid begins with N. That's C, P, T, N. Captain. The next one to be created would be up here, Neptune. Okay, that's the 5th. And after the 5th, it'd be Tatiana, and then Oberon, and then Ariel, and then Umbriel and Miranda. Okay, Neptune, Tatiana, Oberon, Ariel, Umbriel, and Miranda. Now this is just an anagram for AU. If you combine the M and the O, you get. I think it's what it says. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, if you combine the O, the first dimension of O and the second dimension of M. So O is the 15th letter, M is the 13th letter. The second dimension of M would be 1 plus 3 is 4. The second dimension of M is 4. The first dimension of O is 15. 15 plus 4 is 19. That's an S. A-U-S, T. It's making an I, and there's your N. And you've used everything, because the O and the M is your S. And conversely, the first dimension of M plus the second dimension of O is 19. M is 13. Second dimension of O would be 6. 13 plus 6 is 19. That's an S. Captain Austin. Now, where's Lee? Well, Uranus is the next thing in things. So Uranus is going to go here. Uranus is the 21st letter of the alphabet. Read it backwards. It's 12. The letter 12 is L. This one here starts with an N, and N is the 14th letter. 1 and 4 is 5. That's an E. And this is a C, the third letter, but you have a plus 1 here and a plus 1 being created here. So you're going to have 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. L-E-E. Captain Austin Lee. And then Meredith is found here by Uranus, Titan, Iaptus, Ray, Thesis, and Dion, which are actually properly depicted here. But then you got it. If you started on the fourth one here, you got to start on the third one here, and you combine it with the fourth one. And anyways, it all comes to be Austin Lee Meredith. I don't want to repeat myself. Now, where Sheila and Amber Graves comes from is simple. Look, you only have to look here. Okay, this is how you find SAG. Okay, the first dimension of Sheila and Amber Graves. Okay, read it backwards. Yeah, you're gonna have an O, you're gonna have a D, you're gonna have an N, and you're gonna have an N. And like I said, this is the 15th letter, this is the 4th letter, this is the 14th letter, this is the 14th letter. Isn't it funny that 14 times 14 times 4, is equal to, that times that is part of one of the 4 magnets. We need 784 magnets for the Borg cube that goes around it for voltage. Isn't that interesting that that's there? Okay. But 15 and 4, if you sum them, that's 19. Okay. And that 19 right here will be the letter S for Shelane. And if you take one of the ones out of here, okay, take one of them and leave a 4 here, let's say. So this will be a 19. Hey, look, we're making tetrahedrons, guys. We're making this. Boom, 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 boom. We're making the yellow. This is what we're making. Okay, we're doing this, I think. Making the tetrahedron. So there's your Shelane. There's your Amber and your Graves. Well, this right here is just a circled 4. Circled 4. And a circled 4 is simply, a 5. And this one's just a 4 without a 1, but that means that this 4 is a circled 3. And a circled 3, So if you have a circled 3 here, and I'm going to have to do a circled 4 here, and if you highlight them and go to Format, Number, Plain Text, and then do circled 3, and you do a circled 4, when you add the circles together, you're going to have a doubly circled 7, let's say. Okay, so you have doubly circled 7s. Okay, so this is your doubly circled G, this is your S, and that's your A. A. So there's your Shelane, Amber, Graves. And I don't know, maybe you can read it forward and backwards, and that's what the 2 things are. So if you have a doubly circled gas, it can be looked up as either gas or sag. You read it 2 different ways. That's all it means. The 2 circles can go away, but it makes you know that you can read it both ways. Now, I don't know what acronym you can make with S. Yeah, hold on. Anagram solver. Sure, whatever. Find all possible words. So let's do SSAAGG. Scramble. 5-letter words. Sagas. Well, look at that. It's a saga. Wow, I'm retarded. That's a 5-letter. It's not a 6-letter. So it's not used twice. The G is not used twice, but the G is in the middle. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. The G's just doubled. You can't see the other G. Wow, it's so perfect. It's the other way around. S A G, G G A S. It's a symmetrical guy. It's a sagas. Do you see what's happening here? Huh. It's a saga. Anyways, this is your saga right here. Shows up here too. That's just your saga. Okay, right here. That's the saga. So, um, yeah, Shillian Amber Graves is there. Austin Lee Meredith is over here. I think these are the names of the cells. Yeah, they have names. They have number values too. And I definitely think that this connection is very interesting. How Io is just I, Aptus, and Oberon. Interesting, you know. Cool. So, anyways, again, this is all from this ruler because it like says in little tiny fine detail print what like the moons and stuff are, and that's my reference, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope this wasn't too long. How long is this? It's getting to be. I have no idea, but it's still working hopefully. So anyway, yeah, there. I decoded that, I guess. Sagas. That's crazy. But there, I think I've labeled everything because you got to take what you take at the beginning with you. You need to reuse the Titans. You need to reuse the 16 solids, liquids, and gases guy. These 16 cells, we're in a 16 base hexadecimal reality. 16 down here in the bottom left corner, bottom right corner. They need to be used twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. AD, time. I don't know. I can look at these all backwards, upside down, flipped all I want, but I'm thinking this is really cool. I'm liking the fact that Uranus is here and Uranus is here. Okay, like I do like that, and because of the symmetry of it all, you're gonna know that Uranus is gonna be over here from a different place, right? You know that this is gonna be here. You know that this is gonna be here. You know that this is gonna be here. There might be some like changes down here, maybe I don't know, but it's just symmetricness. It's fine. Like, but I definitely see some kind of like it's the air. This is like the tetrahedron of the air. And Titan, like UT, TU, UUUT. I don't know, but Titan. Come on, right there. Boom, Titan. How's that a 5? I don't know. Like I don't know, guys. Dion starts with the 4, and that's the letter 4, and that's number 4. So it makes sense that Dion goes here because this is a 4. Okay. Anyways, Callisto. I'm trying to think of like Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. So Callisto, what number is this? This will be 50, right? Yeah, this is the number 50. Hey, that makes total sense, guy. Look, check it out. Fuck, I'm smart. Look. The remember, look right here. Why? Charon's right here. Charon's right here. Look. I'm going to highlight it like crazy red. That Charon right there is the beginning of a new cell, but it's on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? What's on the board? Okay, what's on the board over here? 69. Where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the new 69. It's the new starting of the cell on 1 of 5 of 5 of 50 of 25, 35. Oh, and 25, 35 is interesting too. See, I knew it was right. I knew it was right. Anyways, cool. So it's like your new 69 starting right here. You know, your new 69 sideways. You know, starting here. You know, do one of these. Is that better? But yeah, that's perfect. And there's your 4-6 split, because this would be your count of 6, and right here would be your count of 4. Your 4-6 split. Your 4-6 split. Huh. Oh yeah, what was I talking about? Okay, so this right here, this guy right here is the 76. You're the 76, and you are the 235. Oh, okay, 235. How did I do that? I looked at something. Uh, yeah, I remember. Okay, so look, it's over here. Um, because after day 3, when Dion is the last luminary created, okay, so this guy right here is like the last luminary created, okay, on day 3. And on day 4, we're not going to start up where Ieptis is right here. We're not going to start right here, okay? We're not starting there. We're going to start where the galaxies are. We're going to start here, okay? And this cell, okay, is the 4th row, 6th, 5th row, 4th column. This is the 28. This is the 28. So, okay, so 2. Okay, Europa is going to be the value of 235. Io is going to be the value of 76. Okay, and Phobos is going to be the value of 712. Okay, why? 76 is because Ieptis and Oberon, we've already covered that, is Io. It's on the stairway to heaven. Okay, so how's Europa stairwaying? Oh yeah, and yeah, Europa's sandwiched between Miranda and Umbriel. Okay, it's the middle of the 1x5. So let's say Europa goes up to Umbriel and Man. Yeah, look at that. Let's make that all congruent for a second. Okay, those guys. Okay, now if Europa and Galaxies is going to be a 28, a 2, and a 2. Huh. A 28 is just a 2, 3, 5. Right? Wow. That's 28 for the Galaxy, and that's a 2 and a 2. Okay, there's 3 cells. Yeah, there. 28, 2. Oh, really? Here, let me just zoom in. Ah, fuck. Let me just go here. So we have 2, 3, 5, which is like a 2, 8 if you bring these together. Okay. Now the galaxies, yeah, and this would be the galaxies are your 28. Dion is a 2. And Umbriel and Miranda is a 2. Okay, well D, if everything is circled twice with brackets, it makes sense why the doubly circled 2 is 4, which is a D. Okay, so you have 3 things, okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, you know? 3 things, but you're making a 1x5. Because yeah, look, then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh, you have a 5x4 T. Guy, you're literally making a 1, 2, sorry. You're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a, wait, ugh, 1, yeah, 2, 3 off of it. Are you? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what you're doing. So you can think of it as your 3, 5, 8, 5. Your 3, 5, 8. And 2 and 2 always makes a 5. Why? And this is a 2, and that's a 2. That's a 28. And this is a... this is a 235. That's your 76. And that's your X. That's your 712. And this is your 6436. Anyway. I think I should stop. Okay, so these are just some thoughts. You can follow them or not. Let me get rid of those. But yeah, that's what I think's good. I'm gonna go with this being somewhat accurate. I don't want to be like, oh, this is 100% true because I have no fucking clue. So if you can follow this, great. If you can't, let me know.